Welcome back to Movieworld Recaps. Today, I am going to share an animation, adventure, and comedy movie about a bull named Ferdinand. This animated movie is based on a popular children's book. It starts in Spain, on a ranch called Casa del Toro, where bulls are trained. 3 young calves are waiting to see which of the older bulls will be chosen by a matador to fight. Little Ferdinand takes care of a rose he planted in a field. He gets picked on by the other calves, especially Valiente, Guapo, and Bones. The young bulls watch as the older bulls, including the fathers of Ferdinand and Valiente, start to fight for the win. Ferdinand's dad is picked by the matador. The bull tells his son goodbye, while Valiente's dad tells him to go away. Then, out of spite, Valiente steps on Ferdinand's flower. Later, when the truck that took his dad away comes back, Ferdinand sees that his dad is not in it. Ferdinand figures out that he must have been hurt. When Ferdinand's heart is broken, he runs away from the ranch and gets away from his captors, but he gets lost. Juan, a florist, and his dog Paco track him down. They bring Ferdinand home to Juan's daughter. When Nina sees that Ferdinand loves flowers, she and Ferdinand become fast friends. Paco doesn't like the fact that Nina raised Ferdinand as her pet and best friend. Ferdinand grows into a very big bull, but he is still kind and friendly. His voice is now done by John Cena. He treats Paco like a brother, but even though the dog's tail wags when Ferdinand calls him a brother, Paco won't agree. Juan and Nina are getting ready to go to the town's annual flower festival, but they can't take Ferdinand with them because he's too big. Ferdinand decides to go to the flower festival on his own after they leave. When he gets to town, when other people see him walking around, they get scared. Nina gets excited when she sees him, but then Ferdinand gets stung on the butt by a bee, which makes him scream in pain and makes the others think he's going to attack. He runs around in a panicked state, telling people what's going on. He hides, of all places, in a china shop and is almost caught until he sneezes and makes a mess. Ferdinand is taken in, and Nina watches with sadness as he leaves. Ferdinand is taken back to Casa del Toro, where he meets Lupe, a goat, who is a coach. She takes him to see the bulls that he knew when they were young calves. In addition to Valiente, Guapo, and Bones, there is also the Scottish bull Angus, who can't see past his hair, and the quiet but tough McKinnon, who is said to have been made in a lab. Guapo and Bones are surprised at how much Ferdinand has grown, but Valiente is still a jerk who wants to fight and beat Ferdinand. Lupe takes Ferdinand to his stable, where he meets 3 naughty hedgehogs, Una, Dos, and Cuatro. Even though Ferdinand scares them at first, he turns out to be a nice person, and they start to like him. Later, Ferdinand meets 3 snooty German horses named Hans, Greta, and Klaus. They make fun of the bulls for being smelly and not as well groomed. The next day, a famous but arrogant bullfighter named El Primero comes to the ranch. He is there to find the toughest bull so he can fight it in what is supposed to be his last fight. Valiente is sure that if he beats the others, he will be picked. The bulls are put in the ring, but Ferdinand stands in front of them because he doesn't want to fight. Guapo gets too nervous, Angus can't see, and Bones is too small. El Primero tells the bulls how disappointed and disgusted he is with them. Later, Guapo is loaded into a truck. He thinks El Primero chose him, but the other bulls can see that he is being taken to a nearby slaughterhouse. Valiente tells Ferdinand that he will become meat if he doesn't fight. The other bulls start to respect Ferdinand more and more as time goes on. He helps Angus see by licking his hair. Later, he has a dance-off with Angus, McKinnon, and Bones against the horses. The horses get shocked by the electric fence and are embarrassed. The only person who still doesn't like Ferdinand is Valiente. He ends up getting into a fight with Ferdinand and keeps making him angry by calling him a coward for not wanting to fight. Ferdinand fights back and breaks off one of Valiente's horns. El Primero likes Ferdinand, so he chooses him to be the fighter. Valiente is sent to a place where people are killed. Ferdinand decides to escape so he can be with Nina on the farm. He talks Lupe into helping him so she can feel as loved as he does. Ferdinand and Lupe try to sneak out of the ranch through the main house with the help of the hedgehogs, but Ferdinand sees a picture of his father and his horns on the wall. In fact, the whole wall is made of the horns of fighting bulls. Ferdinand understands that bulls will die in the ring or at the slaughterhouse regardless of what happens. Ferdinand decides to let the other bulls out before they leave. He goes all the way to the slaughterhouse to save Guapo and Valiente. They end up turning on the things that almost kill them, but they escape and now Valiente is on Ferdinand's side. The animals take the rancher's truck and head into town. El Primero threatens Moreno, the owner of the ranch. This makes Moreno and the other ranchers go after the animals. They run through the town and make a mess, but when they find a train yard, they escape. To get to the train, the bulls push a small cart, but Ferdinand stays behind to make sure everyone gets on. He is found by ranchers, who take him away. Spain hears that Ferdinand is being taken to fight El Primero. Juan and Paco see it on TV, so Juan goes to get Nina so they can save Ferdinand. A lot of people come to the arena to watch the fight. Lupe, who stayed behind and was taken with Ferdinand, tries to get Ferdinand to fight for his life. Workers push Ferdinand out into the ring and poke him so he can fight. He doesn't try to fight well, so El Primero ends up getting hit into the wall. The matador gets angry and tries to attack Ferdinand with banderillas, cutting his shoulder in the process. He grabs El Primero by the horns and stares into his eyes, which seems to scare the matador. Ferdinand calms El Primero down when he sees a rose that fell on the field, which reminds him of the peace he felt on the farm with Nina. El Primero gets ready to kill Ferdinand, but he thinks twice when the bull gives up. The rest of the audience yells at El Primero to let Ferdinand live, and just then Nina and her father arrive. El Primero spares Ferdinand's life and allows him to keep his honor. Nina runs onto the field to hug Ferdinand, and the other bulls come out to join her. In the last scene, Ferdinand and his friends are taken to the farm. Nina sees Lupe and calls her cute, which is the first time Lupe feels really loved. Then, Ferdinand and his friends go to his favorite field of trees and flowers to watch the sun go down. That is all for now, folks. I hope you like it. Please subscribe to our channel for more content like this and click on the like button to help us out. Also, please leave a comment below if you want us to recap your favorite movie. Until next time.